Hello everybody, Raven here, and welcome back to another episode of How to Build. This is a series where I teach you guys how to build all my created characters in For Honor, and today I'm going to walk you through how to build Irmengard. I just recently released Irmengard's Legend video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. And today I'm going to show you guys how to build Irmengard yourself in case you wanted to play her. Now, I am aware that Varangian Guard is a little bit of a contentious hero, and there's some people who do not enjoy her. I have enjoyed playing with her, and I think I came up with a pretty decent design for her that I think y'all will like. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So, starting off with the helm, you want the Hetja helm. You want this Hetja helm. Now, you could go with the Hetja alternate, but I think one of the problems I have with the Hetja alternate is it doesn't have the side guards, which I think give a more complete look. So I would go with the Hetja helm. The Sturker chest. Now, I like the Sturker chest mostly because of the cape. This is a very, very nice looking cape. And I also like the scale. I like the scale usage here. I think that's very fitting for what a Varangian would wear. And then the Maxitus arms. Believe it or not, the Maxitus arms looks like it fits very well with the Sturker chest. So I would definitely go with the Maxitus arms. So again, Hetja helm, Sturker chest, Maxitus arms. Okay? Now for the weapon. You want the Rumphia head, the Autocrat's downfall handle, and the Despair's end shield. I like this setup specifically because of how simple it looks. One of the things that I notice a lot is the more ornate and fancy you get in terms of weapons and armor, the less down to earth it feels. And I tried using like different designs for the weapon and shield, but I couldn't help but feel like this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like what my girl would carry, you know? I don't feel like Irmengard would carry this. I feel like she'd carry something a little bit more simple, something that she's used for a very long time, something that she trusts, and I thought that this would work best. So, one more time so that you know. Hetja helm, Sturker chest, Maxitus arms, Rumphia head, Autocrat's downfall handle, Despair's end shield. Okay? Alright, pretty easy. Let's move on to the next part. For traits, default 1, and for skin color, I use the default, nothing fancy. For the chest, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing for the chest. I feel like if you added anything for the chest, it would kind of ruin it. For the ornament, absolutely nothing. Again, I don't feel like you need anything for her there. For the right arm, no paint pattern, but I use the Lieutenant's Insignia paint, symbol, which you get from the Dauntless Brigade battle outfit. So get the Dauntless Brigade battle outfit. I gave her this one because I feel like if she were to have a rank in her militia, it would be a lieutenant. And yeah, I just felt like that would be a good look for her. No embossing. Left arm, absolutely nothing because I want to keep the shield the way it is. For material, I use gold, which you get at Reputation 9, level 20. For the standard, I use the Rough Totem 1 paint pattern, which you get at Reputation 2, level 6, and nothing else. And then for the back, absolutely nothing. And for color scheme, Daybreak, which I get from the Art of War Elite outfit. Now, some of you are probably looking at me right now going, Raven, that is a pretty sparse design. What's the deal? Okay, so there are two reasons I wanted to go with something a little bit sparse here. For the first rationale I want to use, I don't see Irmengard as someone who cares a lot about appearances. If you read her lore, or listened to her lore rather, you heard that Irmengard was the kind of girl who focused primarily on the fight. She doesn't have a lot of self-identity outside of what she loves to do, which is fight. So for her, as long as she has a basic weapon set, basic armor, she doesn't care a whole lot about appearances. She could look beaten to shit, but she's still going to focus on her fight. So I didn't think anything fancy would go here. Plus, I'll be honest, the more I tried to use paint patterns, the less it looked good to me. It looked unnatural. But when I took it away and I just left it as is, it looked really good to me. I felt like this was just fine. I thought that the way I see it, you don't need a whole lot of fancy stuff to make a good looking character. Sometimes something very simple and basic can be the best. As the saying goes, simple and clean, you can look pretty mean. So, I don't know. I just think that this is really, really good. So, if you guys want to add more details to it, or you think that something could be added here to make it look better, feel free to add it. But for me, I feel like this is perfect as is. So, let's move on to the abilities. I use all the basic abilities. She was trained as a Varangian, so she's going to have all the Varangian skills. For executions, I use Headblat, No Enemies, absolute will, and axe and hammer. Now, I use these because I think that they're my favorite of the Varangian guards, but I switched to no enemies because one thing that I think is kind of unique about Irmengard as I was writing her story, I think that this execution fits her very well because she's the kind of girl who wants the challenge, and she's going to give her opponent the opportunity to get in some licks and then prove that she's above them. You know what I mean? So I thought that would work very well for her. Emotes. I use Stretching Out and Dance Party. Again, very simple. For combat, I use Shield Drum and Defiant Challenge. These, I think, fit her very well because she wants to get into that fight, she wants to rally her group, and she wants to get ready for a really good fight. For signature, I use Contract Complete. If you'll remember, Irmengard made it very clear that the Varangians don't necessarily fight because they want money. That's just the excuse. They fight because they love battle. They love combat. They love shedding blood. But she still has to keep up appearances. So give me that damn cash, you know? So she wants to make sure she gets paid. And then finally, effects. None for her idol, but for her executions, Thunderous Rage. The way I see it, Irmengard's pretty down to earth, pretty easy to get to know, pretty easy to deal with when she's, you know, by herself, not doing nothing, you know? But then once you get her on the battlefield, once you get her blood levels up, she kind of goes ballistic, and I think this fits it very well. Nothing for free roam, and nothing for combat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you build Irmengard. So, what do you guys think? You going to build Irmengard for yourself and play with her? What do you think about her story? Have you heard her story? If you haven't, go give it a listen. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care.